Okay, and welcome back to turn 38 of the defense for heavy hitters. What we've got going on here is now a kind of massive damage limitation exercise. We think about this in terms of Titan clearing out these objectives, then basically it's going to be doing what I was doing in my attack, which is move up the infantry, find out if the position is occupied, and then smack it with tanks. So to a great extent, and this happens quite a lot in combat missions, a lot of the who wins the armor fight wins the game. And if we calculate the anti-tank assets I've got hanging around to stop Titan from doing that and just rolling me up and destroying me, I have a Sherman and a Hellcat. That's it. We've lost 2 Jacksons, a Sherman, and 2 AT guns. The infantry have no anti-tank weapons whatsoever, and the Greyhound's little 37mm pop gun is not going to do very much against the stuff that Titan has left. He's got 2 Panthers, a King Tiger, and a Panther IV. Probably the best possible result would be to cease fire here now before it gets any worse. But seeing as though Titan is obviously in such a strong position, that's unlikely to happen. But, you know, we can go to work. We've still got the Hellcat, and we're still trying to get it into a position where we can smack up the King Tiger from the flank. But at the same time, obviously, we are in a little bit of trouble here. And this is what it's like when you're a combination of bad luck, poor judgment, and terrible miscalculations just stack up over the course of, what, about 40 minutes now? That's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. But yeah, what's going to be happening this turn is the Hellcat is reorientating. I need to remember to move this Greyhound out of the way because it's done its job. There's not much else it can do there now. I think we're going to start getting a bit of mortar fire landing down here because Titan's undoubtedly going to push his infantry up. But yeah, basically as time's going on, he's gaining a lot more freedom of movement. And time will come in the increasingly fast approaching future where we're going to end up street fighting here, which I don't predict is going to end well for me. So, let's just press go and see what we get here. Hopefully no more nasty surprises. It's the Panther IV going down the road there. Definitely plenty of infantry down here we can start shooting at. And I think that, yeah, that might be, yeah, that's that Greyhound shooting up the Panther IV there, and it needs, yeah, too late. Sometimes it would be nice if the Pixel Tripman looked at the tank and said, our little pop gun can't hurt that, we should go away. But no. So, yeah, he's pushing up. The tanks are coming up, etc., etc. That team there, he's probably decided it's done its business. It's not much to worry about down here. Why would you engage that Panther IV? You know, what are you going to gain from that? That's just a bounce off the front of the hull there. Oh, look at that. Didn't even penetrate the mud guard. Yeah. It's funny how you pixel shop and sometimes just stand and fight when they absolutely shouldn't. And there we go. That's out of action. And we hit the weapon here. So what, it scrapes down the underside of the barrel. Oh yeah, there we go. It's ricocheted off the muzzle. Don't know whether that's put it out of action or not. I seriously doubt it. Yep. Add some more infantry pop up. Moving up from here. Have these guys managed to fire any rounds off? No. So I don't know what they're doing there, but well, now we can't target the thing that's in the sunken lane. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, I don't think there's even that much else to see there. Right. If you're not going to target that. See, now they can actually see in, target the bottom of the sunken lane. That's crazy. I honestly can't think of a reason why they would be able to do that. Not that we're going to argue. This mortar team is in position. They should also be able to. And now they can't see down here. Yay. Yeah, the Hellcat shouldn't be too but at the same time, if Titan is these are the guys from before, aren't they? If Titan is going that way, we can, in fact, push the Hellcat deeper and come up like behind them, which will take a bit longer, but at the same time, it's probably going to pay off. Well, no, I say that because we're not going to be able to engage from a hull down position there. Not that it has made any difference in this game whatsoever yet. But that doesn't mean that it's not good practice. Actually, we can get spotted from there, can't we? Ugh. Doesn't help that my mouse keeps clicking off things. Be hull down from that at least. Yeah, then we should be able to cover that area, so yes. If the King Tiger carries on its current trajectory, it should be in that kind of area, I think. How's the other Jeep doing? Okay, that's cool. Yeah. We were going to get you out of the way, weren't we? Yes. Where's that Panzer IV? Oh, it's this over there. I'm getting my hedge lines mixed up here. So we should be able to get the hell out of there with the HQ. Greyhound. At least I have like some kind of degree of satisfaction here in that I have been smashing his infantry up. Problem is I'm not sure how much infantry he's got. And given the armor losses that I've taken here, it's probably at least even, probably in his favour. You know, because it's a probe, the advantage is in, or the weighting of the point is more towards the casualties on the ground. So, although I'm just going to press ceasefire on the basis that we're not in a good position here, and it's only going to get better for Titan as time goes on. So if he has a bad turn and reflexively decides to ceasefire, you know, I want to get the most out of that as possible. Now let's press go. It's funny how this has collapsed over like the last 10 turns or so. But hey ho. Okay, and now we've got the attack for turn 38. I'm going to see what's happening down here, because I think there's either these guys are some kind of like super soldiers, which they may well be, or there's some other machine gun, or the Hellcat in fact, down here, who've been shooting up these guys. We'll see. This Panther is coming along to back them up. You know what, I think I actually didn't give any orders to these two in the last turn. That was, ugh. This is terrible when you get thrown off your off balance. By stuff in this game, and you forget to do basic stuff. Ugh. Not sure what's happening down here. There was a projected Jackson poking out from behind the church this way, presumably to catch the zoo animals in the flank, but we'll see. And then we've got all these troops, Titans, moving up from down here. So it seemed kind of obvious that he's been expecting me to attack this way. And now, you know, he's had plenty of stuff in depth, and it's now pushing these guys up. Hopefully they're all in foxholes, and he's wasted the points for the foxholes, because I'm just not going to fight him the way he likes. But, yeah. A bit of a, you know, still a shock, but we're still in a pretty strong position here. We're denying more objective than Titan's denying in his attack, so that's something at least. And we'll see how these things kind of pan out. I need to... it could be a good move to start, you know, now that we've got that toehold, that's fine. Now let's let Titan come to us and destroy him. So we could start plodding into the, you know, the sunken lane and that kind of thing. We'll have a push. We'll see what happens. But yeah, let's just press go. Some mortar rounds landing near the old Jackson crew down there. Hopefully they'll scarper. And oh yeah, we've got lots of targets in the middle of town there now. That's nice. Just a pity the tanks are out of position, really. More targets in town. That's a good sign. Yeah, that flashing contact there is probably the MG team at the top of the tower, which, you know, it's the top of the church tower. It's not a very healthy place to be. And that's good. Those guys are just running into there. That's where this mortar is mortaring. So yeah, let's check out the these guys. I'm not a fan of these guys. I want them to be dead. Yeah, there's the guy with the grease gun. Getting a bit mortared there. That'll do. We should be able to plod some pixel dropping forward next turn and sort them out. Yeah, cool. What did we get in the village? So we had lots of contacts popping up. Oh, these guys, we already know about these guys. The guys in the church. Yes, the HQ element in the church, exactly like me. And these guys we sort of already know about. Knew about. Some fire going out there of the guys crossing the field, or the general area of the guys crossing the field anyway. We've got some more guys in here. This is the house I have my HMG in. Incidentally. So, you know, it's interesting to see the two different ways that we're dealing with this stuff. It looks like the Jackson might be heading off that way now. Or trying to get a different angle. Yeah, the marksman. How's he got a G43? He must have picked it off someone. That's quite amusing, actually. Who gets you? Oh, it's hard to tell, but definitely plenty of people shooting at the church tower, which, you know, I've got a whole, like, another 4 platoons, 4 more machine gun sections, and 2 mortars standing by to just do terrible things to these guys up here. So, yeah. Let me know where you are. And these guys running across. Judging from this is probably the ammo bearer team for this machine gun. We've got a 60mm mortar in there. That MG fire obviously is a little bit off. That's a bit of an overshoot. The mortar's aiming at this kind of position here. those guys are getting up there fairly unmolested, but that's not really that big a deal. You know, we've got into a position now where I'm less bothered about clearing the village than I am about killing Titan's troops. If that makes sense. How many rounds did you actually get off here? A couple. So they're just starting to fire off about now. So, you know, the more of them that Titan moves up, he's fighting on where I want to fight him, not where he wants to fight me. And yeah, so, you know, he can cram this area with stuff, but I'm you know, I'm in a position to destroy it, so. You know, despite the complete disaster, an avoidable disaster a couple of terms ago, I think we're getting back on top here. That panther's moving around. Okay. Of course, this panther is sat here. Can't really see up here, but that's okay. That means Titan can't really see that either. There we go. Make sure I've got the right one. And we'll put a couple of shells or a bit of fire into that house. There. Can't you see very much from there, but we'll put some fire. These guys have loads of ammunition anyway, so. It's not really a problem. Carry on shooting up the house there. This is still living half track, or a half track still with the gunner. Let's make sure we're focusing on the actual weapons team there and not the not the ammo bearers, because one of those is a lot more dangerous than the other. What to do with these things? Well, oh yeah, it's definitely sending it this way. This isn't the kind of ridge we can really hold down on because of the angle of the slope. This one, however, is. So maybe it's going to be worth putting them into some hold down positions facing that way. I am also thinking a lot about this kind of direction here. Because obviously there's a now that I know there's nasty things about, I need to consider the flanks of my my stuff, the flanks of the tanks and things. It's a test. Well, I say it's a test. Let's push this half track up here to the to this house. Get the MGs set up here because they can cover off that way, and then we can push this squad into the church. Yeah, because let's face it, the church is not an amazing place to be right now. Those guys on the ground floor. Now, where's the next floor up that actually has windows? That one. Let's get you guys up to that floor. There we go. Just check. Yeah, you can't see anything, so let's get you down there. In fact, let's set the MG up there because it's going to be able to see stuff, but it should be less exposed. Where do I want my tiger? So the calculation is that Titan has probably got just the one Jackson left and the Hellcat. Because of the way that, you know, we know he's set up with infantry in depth. We know he's got stuff in the sunken lane already. We know he's got, so, you know, we've seen an AT gun here. AT guns are static as hell. He's going to have had some infantry in there to back it up. So, stuff in the sunken lane. Then we know we've probably got stuff, well, we know we've got stuff back here on this reverse slope. We've got stuff in the village. He's got a significant infantry presence, so he probably hasn't got that much armour. Famous last words there. Yeah, I'm really not sure what to do with that tiger. So let's have a think. Where could he be going with the Jackson if it's going this way? Have we got any holes in the fence? No. If he's gonna pop it up here, perhaps, or look for little keyholes in here. I'm really not sure. I'm not particularly sure how well what am I trying to say? How well the Jackson is going to do against the armor on a Tiger, because it's not sloped like the Panther, and I know it can go straight to the front of a Panther. I think the front armors are comparable in effective thickness. I don't want to. There's definitely a part of me that doesn't want to expose the tanks unduly, but at the same time, obviously, I want to get it up where it can support the, or where we can start doing some damage. I don't want them to get nullified by the fact that I'm scared of Titan's unexpected firepower. So, yeah. Part of me is wondering, though, whether... whether we can put it somewhere else. Let's find you guys something to shoot at. Or in fact, shoot into the village, why not? Wouldn't that be a good idea? There's no line of sight. Awesome. These guys need to plod forward a bit. Let's be cheeky and really get the Panther out there where its flank is going to be very safe. This is actually quite interesting. We really have like kind of entered a new phase in the battle here, as it were. So we can't get rid of them. Yeah. You know, kind of retaining a dilemma with the tiger here. And if I want to move it somewhere, then I should probably move it now, because Titan is going to be I definitely know that the one Jackson I've seen is... let's just pop it like hull down here. And hopefully it's not going to be overly exposed. We'll have to check. But also, if it's on the tilt, we might get more thickness out of the armour because of the angling. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. I know what I mean. Yeah. Yeah, let's just press go. I'm just kind of prevaricating here. We just need to get on with it.